Australia has comparable standard of education compared to Canada, compared to US, compared to UK. The education quality you will get, the resources, the labs, and all of that, you can say that they are similar. How are you doing today? Welcome, and we're going to be talking about the 5 reasons why you should do your masters in Australia. Yes, there are lots of people that Australia doesn't come into their radar when they are trying to think of where they should go, where they should relocate to, or where they should travel to, for their study abroad, or where they should get their foreign masters, right? Whatever is the major thing that is motivating you to want to relocate abroad via the study abroad route, I want you to consider Australia. Australia is like that country that we don't give so much credit for all the good things that it has. And I would believe that sometimes it's also about the distance of Australia from a lot of the people that followed our page, like from Africa and stuff like that. But distance, you know, when they say age is just a number, distance is just in the mind. Because if you're going to go to, say, from Nigeria or Cameroon or Ghana to US, you're going to be in a plane and ta-da, you're going to end up where you're going, right? You go to the airport. The same thing is going to happen if you're going to Australia. If you're going to Canada, is almost the same distance. Even if the distance is less, maybe 3-4 hours extra by flights, right? It's not as if you're going to walk there. So a lot of people, when I say, why don't you want to consider Australia? They're like, because of it's so far away, but it's in the mind. Because come to think about it, the world is so connected right now. If you are studying in a place or you're in a country, you want to reach your home people, you're going to do a video call and the rest, right? So I just want you to know that distance is just in the mind. However, let's go into the 5 major reasons why you should consider doing your masters in Australia. The number 1 is that Australia has a lot of full scholarships. Right? The same way we introduce you to scholarships in Canada, in US, in UK, same way Australia has lots of full scholarships as well. So know that if you're looking to study for your masters and you're looking for full scholarship, Australia is one of the countries I want you to consider. The second reason why you should do your masters in Australia is that Australia has a similar potential for you if you want to stay back. Like many people like Canada, right? Because if you study in Canada, you can decide to stay back and get work experience and even stay in Canada permanently after your study. Other people also return back home after their study if they want, right? So I want you to know that it's similar for Australia. Like most times, if you compare Canadian immigration student for Canadian immigration policies for international students is similar to that of Australia, and you can't say it's similar for US or it's similar for UK. UK have their different ones, US have their different ones, but they are not as juicy as Canada, right? But if you love what Canada is providing, I want you to know that another place that can provide something like that is Australia. So that's the second reason. The third reason is less competition. Yes, less competition. There are lots of people that want to come to Canada from your country. There are lots of people that want to go to US from your country. There are lots and lots of people that want to go to UK from your country. But guess what? There are not as many people who want to go to Australia. This means that Australian schools will even be in a better, like you'll be in a better position to get admission, to even get full funding if you consider Australia, because a lot of your peers may not be considering Australia just because mentally it feels far for them. But I already mentioned that if it feels far for you, remember that it is the same video call you're going to use to call your mom from Canada that you will use from Australia. Their own is not going to have a time lag. And if there is any distance, it's just the day you are traveling, and it may just be extra 3-4 hours by flight. Chasey. So that far is a mental barrier. It almost does not exist physically. All right. The third thing is that the fourth reason is that Australia has comparable standard of education compared to Canada, compared to US, compared to UK. Australia has a comparable standard of education, meaning the education quality you will get, the resources, the labs, and all of that, you can say that they are similar. All right. The third one is comparable standard of living, like comparable standard of living. Australia has comparable standard of living compared to Canada, compared to US, right? In fact, Australia also uses dollars, Australian dollars, the same way Canada uses Canadian dollars and US uses US dollars, right? Australia uses Canadian dollars. Even the minimum wage in Australia is even a bit higher compared to minimum wage in Canada, safe, as of when I went there. So, have Dr. Linda visited Australia before? What do you think the answer is? Yes! 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 Dr. Linda Iheme has visited Australia before, and it was so interesting to find that when we landed in Australia, there was no difference between Australia and Canada, where I left to visit Australia, right? And I went to University of Queensland University, and the research, the everything was very, like, it was like I was in my school. Same thing. So I'm not just telling you based on hearsay or something I found on Google. I'm telling you based on real life experience that Canada, US, Australia, they are similar in terms of standard of living, right? And so let me tell you how Australia is a bit different from Canada. In Australia, let me give you an example. In Canada, sometimes you complain of cold, right? But in Australia, you complain of heat, because Australian sun can be so harsh, especially during the summer, that, like, if you're in Ghana, Australian sun in Ghana, Australian sun and the sun in Ghana is like, they're like mates. Ghanaians, I'm using Ghana for example because Ghanaians know that their sun is harsher than that of the Nigerians and that of the Cameroonians. Cameroonian sun and Nigerian sun is similar, you know. So I want you to know that, like, if you're in Africa, the African sun that you get that kind of sun in Australia and even more, right? But there was one video I watched one time. They were like, oh, if you see a beach and you think this is maybe Caribbean, Australia has something like that. If you see a desert and you think this is Africa, Australia has something like that. If you see wild animals and you think you are in let's say in Kenya, right? In Kenya, Australia has things like that. So Australia has comparable standard of living, but importantly as well, if you are the one if you are so worried about cold, because some people say, I can't stand Canada cold. First of all, let me tell you that Canada cold you are worried about is only during the winter. During the summer or fall, if you go outside, it's as hot as any other place you've been to. However, I know that there are people who have issues with the cold. They will just be like, I can't deal with that cold. I can't deal with that cold. If you're that kind of person, consider Australia. Because in Australia, Australia still has like winter and all the rest. But the sun is as harsh as ever. And you should consider that as well. Alright? So, I've given you sort of 5 reasons why you should study in Australia. I also added one other reason about the sun and the cold if you're comparing them to Canada, right? But most importantly, 5 reasons: full scholarship, your ability to get full scholarship, your ability, favorable immigration policies for international students or people or foreigners generally. Less competition because other people are not wanting to go there because they have this mental barrier that Australia is far, but you're actually going to go there with plane and you're not going to walk there, and you just relax in the plane and eat food until you get to where you're going or sleep. So 3 more hours or 4 more hours of distance cannot break you. Comparable standard of living, number 4. Comparable standard of education, I think 4 and 5. Okay, then I told you about my experience when I went to Australia. I hope this helps you to choose Australia as a place for you to go and study and perhaps stay and live and have your good life. Australia is a really good place and you should consider it. All right, but let's see, do you have questions that you would like me to answer? I'll be very happy to take your questions. as regards to considering Australia as a place for you to do your masters. There are some people that will come and tell me that a lot of schools in Australia, they will be like, go through this organization, go through this company, go through the, just do what the school asks you to do. Just do what the school asks you to do. Okay. This person said, I'm a Rwandan and Rwandan and born in a family of 6. What? One moment. Okay. Apart from education, is there any other way to move in there? We work with people going through the study abroad route. Full stop. All right. Okay, let's see. What are the questions that you have? I'll be very happy to take them. Can I study in Australia with my ND in Nigeria? That's National Diploma. Yes, you can. You may apply for a bachelor's degree or maybe advanced diploma. You can do that. Drop your questions so that Dr. Linda can answer them for you. In case you're wondering who is talking, this is Dr. Linda Iheme, and I'm an educational consultant with Vantage Migration. Myself and my team, we train graduates and professionals who want to relocate abroad on how to do that successfully through the study abroad route. We show you how to get admission, scholarship, study loan, and any other thing you need to successfully relocate abroad. Okay, the next question I have here is, how many hours can international students work in Australia? 20 hours a week. Very comparable to what you get in UK, US, Australia. Thank you for asking that question, because that's something else that people worry about. That's something else that people worry about. Like ability to work is same. And that's why I say you get comparable everything. Comparable everything, seriously. Somebody say, how can I apply for BSc with my ND here in Australia? If you're in Australia, go to one of the schools. They are going to help you out, right? We work with people traveling to Australia to study. So if you're already in Australia, then consider going to any of the schools. They will help you. All right, let's see. So I say, which schools can we apply to in Australia for masters? Please start by going to our. If you are looking to relocate abroad, you want to study, you're looking for scholarship, I will advise you to attend our free study abroad webinar. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Please, if you're watching me right now, can you help me type that? www.vantagemigration.ca. Can you help me type that? So you're asking which school should you apply for. Even if I tell you the name of the school, you're also going to ask me, what should you tell them? How should you write the document? What course should you go for? The question will not end. So please, once you get into how, please start by attending our free webinar and you take it up from there, all right? If you have more questions, send it to us. We'll take care of it. All right, let's see. Somebody here, why don't you answer messages? We ask, the best way to contact us is not to drop inbox messages, please, on social media. That's not the best way. Neither do we use WhatsApp for communication. That's not the best way. The best way to contact us is how? Well, those have been following for a very long time. What is the best way to contact Dr. Linda? Please type. Drop a comment if you've been following for a very long time. Let me hear what you have to say. What is the best way to contact Dr. Linda? What is the best way to contact Dr. Linda? What is the best way? Somebody is offended that we do not respond to their inbox messages. What is the best way to contact Dr. Linda? Please tell the person that is watching right now. Oh, somebody said, can I relocate with my family for masters? That's to Australia. Yes, you can. You can relocate with your family if you are going to Australia to study. This person said, please, how can I commence the process? Go to www.vantagemigration.ca, complete our free webinar, check your eligibility, send us an email. Those are the 3-step processes. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca right now. Complete the webinar, check your eligibility, send us an email. All right, and you'll be told what to do at every step. So don't worry, just go to www.vantagemigration.ca and get started. This person says, sorry, do you guys process PhD? I'm done with my master's in UK. Yes, we can work with you if you're going for PhD. We can work with you, maybe PhD in Australia, PhD in Canada, PhD in US, even PhD in UK on full scholarship. We can work with you for that. So go to www.vantagemigration.ca, take the webinar, check your eligibility, send us an email. All right? Let's see. More questions. More questions. Somebody say, how long does it take to bring a spouse over after traveling? As long as you want. It can take 1 day, can take 1 month, can take 5 years. It is all dependent on you. The embassy does not tell you how long you have to stay to bring your spouse. You can even travel together with your spouse if that's what you want. Okay. Another person said, what's the tuition fee like? It is comparable to what you get in Canada, US, UK. Australian tuition fees are comparable. However, same way, full scholarship, you can get full scholarship. The same way you can get full scholarship in Canada, in UK, in Canada as well. You know, when I say full scholarship in UK, some people say, do they used to get full scholarship in UK? They used to get full scholarship in UK. It's just that you don't know how to do it. That's it. So don't assume that your competency issue means that UK doesn't have full scholarship programs. They do. All right. Somebody said, okay, the email address. Thank you very much for all those that type the website, which is www.vantagemigration.ca. Thank you. Let's look at more questions. All right, so people have answered. The best way to contact us is for you to send us an email. And our email address is admission@vantagemigration.ca. Admission@vantagemigration.ca. That's the email address. All right, so for those looking for email address, please don't get sad that we don't respond to your inbox messages, because it's not personal. We don't respond to inbox messages. We want you to send us an email. By the way, all the schools you're going to be traveling to study abroad, you're not going to chat them inbox. You're going to send an email. So it's like we want you to start practicing. It's for your own good. When people pass through our program and they arrive abroad, even during their study, they feel like they've done this before. Because we really try to model that what you're going to face, so that face the problem now, let's correct you, right? Okay, let's see more questions. Somebody says send the email to Vintage Immigration. You see, if you make mistake with the spelling, the email is not going to reach us. The email address is admission@vantagemigration.ca. You can check the link in our bio if you're watching me on Facebook or Instagram. Check the link in our check our bio for the email address, okay? So you don't make mistake. Preferably go to the webinar and follow the steps. Complete the webinar. We'll tell you how to check your eligibility. Check it. Once you check it, we'll give you the email address to use to contact us. That's the best way for you. If you make mistake with the email address, it will not reach us. And then the person will be offended. Oh, I sent you email 10 years ago, you've not responded. And I'm like, shame on you. 10 years ago, you did not even try to figure out what the problem was. You were your own problem, not us. So don't let that happen to you. I know you're a good person. Don't let that happen to you. Let's see. All right, we can call that a day. Take good care of yourself till I see you again. But as I mentioned to you, Australia is a very great country for you to consider when you're thinking about your study abroad process. Feel free, check the schools out. Preferably if you want to learn how to do it as a pro, right? Successfully, so that you're not doing tumbom, trial and error. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. All right? Take good care of yourself till I see you again. Bye.